Welcome back, everyone. I am fully operational, bringing you some more video coverage of the Gamers Nexus Regional held here in the UK in Raleigh, down near the south of the country. This was early June 2015, and this is Game 2 of Round 2 of the Swiss play. So on the left, playing as the light side with the Jedi deck, is Chris Higgins. He won the first round, but lost Game 1 of this round versus Tim Hobart. On the right, playing as Sith and Scum. Tim looks to have flipped Mara's objective there, Agents of the Emperor. No Disintegrations, which is not only a great podcast that you guys should check out, link will be in the description, but it's a Scum objective that stops Protect. And he's also got Saris's objective there, Plan of the Prophetess, which is going to make it a little bit harder for his units to hold the Force, as the light size units will be -1 Force pip. Chris on the left has flopped Heroes and Legends, May the Force be with you, and the Survivors. So Force Control, Heroes and Legends to bounce characters in and out, and Survivors means those unique Jedi units are going to be just that little bit more tricky to damage. Tim's first turn just sees a 2-cost unit hit the board and commit to the Force and pass, so he's not used all his resources, and he's not got any resources out on the board either, so no Sith Libraries, no Holocrons. Chris looks to have, at the end of Tim's turn, done a Ran's Guidance. It's a great call, get the card out of your hand. And he's got a couple of choices there. He can choose, technically, he could choose the Jubba Bird. That is a Jedi unit. But he's also got Q Ran and Kyle. And it looks like Chris has opted for Kyle, even though you may not be able to see it because of the glare. Sorry about that. So yeah, Ran's Guidance into a Kyle Katarn. And Chris as well. Oh, interesting. Plays the resource. Technically did that in the wrong order there, Chris. Watch out for that. This is a regional level competition, so you might get caught out. And then plays a Kyle for 4. Focuses out the only defender. And the nudge takes the dial back down to 0. Yeah, just be careful about the order you choose to do things in, guys. Obviously, if Chris had played Kyle first, that's all his resources. And he wouldn't have been able to play the Dagobah training ground. So that is pretty critical. Making sure you get things in the right order. Nudge went in for an attack there, but Tim choked it. Always a good feeling, choking that nudge. Dow goes back up to 1. Tim takes a drink of victory. And Kyle swings in, unopposed, for 2 damage on Plan of the Prophetess. Probably commit. Yep, commits, and May the Force be with you will free Kyle straight back up. Chris wins the Force and passes the turn. Tim pitches Vader's lightsaber there to the discard, so he's not going to have Vader out anytime soon. A Sith Library and a Sandcrawler. Spends a couple more resources and brings out... What are you bringing? Oh, no, he's just paying for the Sandcrawler there. 3 cost. Looks like Tim is attacking with the Freelance Hunter, trying to put Chris on the back foot. Puts a few damage on Heroes and Legends with the unopposed. And the Hunter exhausts and goes home. Doesn't look like Tim can hold the force, so he passes the turn. And Chris gets to do a 3 point of damage in the balance phase, which is always nice. Chris Ran's guidance again, so he's really digging for those big Jedi units. There we go, Q Ran and Kyle again. So you've got a couple of options here, Chris. You can get Q Ran and have 2 big hitters on the table, or you can bounce Kyle in and out of play with Heroes and Legends. And looks like that's the preferred option. Bouncy, bouncy Kyle. And of course, yeah, Chris drew into the other copy of Q earlier, so didn't need to pick up that second copy. So a bit of a saving grace here is that sand crawler. As soon as that dies, every character and droid will be locked down with a focus. It's a great little put the brakes on any offensive. And Q swings in, puts another 2 unopposed damage on Plan of the Prophetess. So that's on its last legs with 1 point of damage left. And Kyle goes in against the Sandcrawler. Now the Sandcrawler, I'm pretty sure, does have shielding. So don't forget that reaction, Tim. Looks like that's been missed. Chris puts a few cards in the edge battle. Oh, come on. Shielding. Remember your triggers, boys. Shield's the objective. Bit late, technically. If the TO is watching, probably could have pulled you up on that, Tim, but some good sportsmanship from Chris there. Got to declare those triggers as and when the windows pop up, so shielding is when you declare that unit in the engagement as a defender or an attacker. Chris wins the edge battle, 2-0. Puts a point of damage on the objective. Kills the Sandcrawler, and then reaction will put another focus on both those units. Yeah, and unopposed there. Finishes the engagement off. And now you bounce new Kyle in, surely. Kyle's not elite, so 3 focus will see him out of the game for a while, but Heroes and Legends is a beautiful thing. A fresh copy of Kyle hits the board. When he comes into play, focuses the Hunter and puts a couple of damage on. No disintegrations. And that's a lot of damage on the dark side board, so Tim's got to get his defenders up and ready ASAP. He doesn't look happy, so I don't know how many units he drew into. There's a Sith Library, so he's got a few resources if he can survive past this turn. There's a Jawa. OTD! Which is always... It's a tactics, so it might help you. It might help you. And a Force Lightning on Kyle. Don't know if that's going to be enough. Q-Ran is still on the board, and there's another Kyle in Chris's hand, but it's about as good a turn you could have hoped for as Tim. Get a blocker out, get rid of a main. So passes the turn to Chris. Chris gets to do a damage with the balance. Softens up. No disintegrations. Yep, that'll take it from 2 to 3. Chris discards a Jubber Bird. Probably not going to need that if you're looking to win the game this turn. Draws into another Quran. So there's more Heroes and Legends shenanigans. I think that's your turn. Play Kyle. Swing with Q. Swing with Kyle. To take out an objective each. And then bounce in a new Kyle. Sorry, a new Q with Heroes and Legends. I think that would do it. Kyle hits the board. Puts a focus on the Freelance Hunter probably. Yep. Jawa has to block there. If he doesn't, he bounces to the hand and it's game over. So Tim has to win this edge battle to be able to stop the onslaught from Chris. That tactics could be his saviour. Oh, Chris has put a second card in. It's time for Tim. Oh, and a twist. That's a good start for Tim. Two versus two. Defender wins. So Chris might not get to strike with everyone here. Focuses Kyle out. So the Scavenger, the Jawa Scavenger lives to see another day and keeps that objective alive along with Tim's hopes and dreams. But Quran comes in, takes out no disintegrations and bounces a new copy of Ran into play to take out Plan of the Prophetess as well. Yep, Quran means that you lost an edge battle, so that Jawa bounces back to hand. And now Chris should be able to commit one of those to the force to take it and have open defenders. It looks like he doesn't. Don't know why, but I don't know whether it matters at this point. Although if Tim can get a Palpatine, he could potentially lock a board down. Tim doesn't look happy. There's the Jawa again. So that's another focus that you could put on Kyle, who is not elite. Gets the resource out from Saris's objective, the Dark Temple that will refresh. Commits the Jawa to the force, takes the balance just to stop the the balance damage from Chris there. And again, we find ourselves in a situation where the Jawa is Tim's only hope here. You have to win an edge battle, and even then, may not matter. Tim just not seeing the units he needs to stand in front of these Jedi characters. But Chris, again, he's drawing a lot of resources. Not much else. There's a Yoda's hut. That is a good little resource that also helps him win the 4 struggle. And life creates it, so that will bring every creature back from the discard pile into play. That's a nudge and 2 jubber birds. So I think even if Tim does win this edge battle, Chris can just sacrifice a jubber bird and take that Jawa's tactics. So I think that is all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen, but they'll play it out just to be sure. You never know with these scum decks, there could be corrupt officials to stop objective damage going through. Looks like Quran goes in. And the Jawa has to block. Obviously, if he doesn't, that Jawa will bounce to hand from losing an edge battle, so he almost has to block there. You have to win this. Looks like it's a pass. 5 for Chris, 4 for Tim. That Jawa will bounce to your hand, and Q finishes off the objective for a game for Chris. So yeah, Tim just didn't see the units he needed to kind of put up a fight in that game. It's when you've got Jedis bouncing in and out, it can be brutal if you don't draw those units to stand in their way. But great game from Chris. That's 1 apiece, 1 for Chris, 1 for Tim. That's round 2 over and done with. So congratulations, guys, as everyone moves forward into round 3 of Swiss. Check us out. Round 3 will be up shortly on the channel. But follow us on social media. You can see the links on screen right now. And keep your eyes peeled for some more fully operational videos coming your way shortly. Cheers.